We've got crazy new MCU Phase 4 reports about things having to do with the Young Avengers and the WandaVision show. Let's break it all down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor and smash that like button, and let's get right into this crazy Marvel news. Oh, and real quick, Marvel fans, you should know tomorrow evening at I believe about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm actually doing a live stream on this channel with Charles Murphy. Charles Murphy's a big-time MCU scooper. We've talked about a lot of his scoops here. He definitely has the inside track on what's going on with Marvel Studios. So if you want to come watch me berate him about Secret Wars and Dark Avengers, trying to get info out of him, come back for the stream tomorrow. There has been a lot of crazy information, rumors, reports, leaks, and things like that swirling around the internet, specifically with regards to WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2. Now, obviously, Doctor Strange 2 losing the director, Scott Derrickson, was a big deal. A lot of people are speculating that this is because Doctor Strange 2 is going to be a huge film for the MCU, something similar to what they did with Age of Ultron, where they have this movie that really needs to establish its own story, but also set up a bunch of stuff for the future. And we've got new reports of a crazy fan favorite character that will likely be brought into the WandaVision series and possibly spin out into either Doctor Strange 2 or their own Young Avengers type movie. And this would be the character of Hulkling from the comics. This all started a couple of days ago with a tweet by Daniel Richtman, who's another one of these MCU scoopers, saying that he was pretty dang certain that Hulkling was coming into the MCU. Then yesterday, Geeks Worldwide ran a story talking about how they were pretty sure that they were seeing casting calls for this character, for the Hulkling character over at Marvel Studios. And then a website called the Illuminati reported that they have sources claiming to know that Hulkling is indeed being cast for the WandaVision show. Now, we know, of course, that the WandaVision show is probably shooting right now, or will start shooting very soon. It got moved up. It got bumped up for its release date, and it will be dropping later this year in 2020. And so the news that they are indeed casting Hulkling for WandaVision actually makes a lot of sense. Real quick here, we believe, and a lot of reports indicate, that the way the WandaVision show is going to go is that the first part of the show is going to be very much a sitcom with sort of like a David Lynch type twist. There's just a weirdness to it, something like Twin Peaks. Something weird is going on, and eventually it's going to become a full-on MCU type movie of a show where there's just a lot of bombastic action. You see Wanda, you see Vision, and apparently you're going to see Wiccan and Speed, her two kids. Now, before we go any further, let's do a quick TLDR on who this Hulkling dude even is. Hulkling is notoriously a member of the Young Avengers. In the comic books, he's actually the son of Mar-Vell and a Skrull princess. Now, this, of course, would be the comic book version of Mar-Vell, not the one we see in Captain Marvel, but essentially he is a half Skrull, half Kree, who also becomes the boyfriend of Billy Kaplan, aka Wiccan, who is one of the sons of Wanda Maximoff. Yeah, it's a thing in comics. Wiccan and Hulkling are romantically involved. They're LBGT characters, but we also know that Wiccan and Speed are going to be in the WandaVision show, and so a lot of this stuff is lining up. We also know, or at least have a lot of evidence to suggest, that Kevin Feige is working on creating the Young Avengers. There were even rumors last year that the Young Avengers was going to be a Disney Plus show, and if you look at a lot of the things being established right now with like Kamala Khan and this whole idea of the Kate Bishop thing, and there's a hang up there with not Catherine Langford, Haley Steinfeld, and the whole idea there is likely that she doesn't want to sign this big contract, right? And a lot of this stuff is just suggesting that yes, Marvel is very interested in doing the Young Avengers. Some of the most prominent members of the Young Avengers are being developed right now, or even a character like Miss Marvel, who's actually a member of the Champions, could be made into a Young Avenger for the MCU. Another reason that I tend to believe a lot of these reports about Hulkling is the fact that Kevin Feige was talking about an LBGT character from the comic books that would soon be introduced into the MCU. But I think it's kind of interesting that Feige's been talking about that, right? And then, boom, all of a sudden we get rumors not only of Speed and Wiccan, but of Hulkling. All signs point to that being the LBGT couple that Feige was talking about, and that's going to be the representation that we get in the MCU next. Now, in the Illuminati article, they supposedly have access to what the casting call actually is, and it refers to Wiccan as a Skrull who requires help from S.W.O.R.D. in order to remain safely on Earth. And we already know that S.W.O.R.D. is going to play a big role in WandaVision. There have been some leaks, Maria Hill, and some other things going on where you can see clearly that S.W.O.R.D. is established in WandaVision, which, I mean, just makes sense. That's probably what Nick Fury was doing in the post-credit scene of Far From Home, where he's out there with all of the Skrull and all of that. It really seems like S.W.O.R.D. is something that's going to be established in the MCU. So just to recap out there, it is being reported by multiple people, multiple outlets, that Hulkling is being cast for the MCU. A lot of signs pointing to the fact that that character will be introduced in the WandaVision show. There's obviously the history with Wiccan and Speed and Hulkling and just the Young Avengers in general. It really seems like a lot of this stuff is lining up, but that's the official news. I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about Hulkling coming in? What do you think about the relationship between Wiccan and Hulkling? I mean, do you think that's going to be awesome? Are you worried about that? I know some people get worried about like politics and representation coming into their entertainment, but in my opinion, like honestly, Wiccan and Hulkling are in the good category of that sort of thing. Like it feels organic, it feels natural. I like the characters, so I'd be totally into seeing it. I think it would be cool, but I want to know what you think. Let me know what you think about all this crazy MCU news in the comment section below. I mean, frankly here, just with all the news around Doctor Strange and some of the crazy stuff we've been hearing about that and how crazy WandaVision might be, it seems like those two properties for Marvel are going to sort of be a 1-2 punch to vastly open up the universe. I mean, the multiverse itself will be opened up probably in both of them, but if S.W.O.R.D's really playing this big role and if the Young Avengers start to be established in WandaVision, that's just opening up so many doors for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I continue to say Marvel's not done by a long shot. We just scratched the surface. I'm super excited to see all of this stuff and how Kevin Feige develops it over the next couple of years. Now let's shout out Jesse Bays. Indeed, Morbius was supposed to show up in one of the original Blade movies. So shout out to you, Jesse. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what comic book was the first appearance of Hulkling? That's right. What was the first appearance of Hulkling? Let me know what comic book it was. Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.